Shalom Hebrews. Shalom Hebrews. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. In Hebrews, I want to show how, throughout our whole time in captivity, that our enemies never said worship the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Throughout our whole captivity and throughout our whole time being in a strange land up under the domination of some strange people that's not, from our background, and how those people that's over us have never once in their life ever told us to worship the Creator that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob prayed to. So it's something up with that. You know what I'm saying? It's something up with that. And, it was a reason Creator Yah said don't mix up with our enemies. It was a reason that the Creator said not to mix up with our enemies. And I want to read, some of this history in the book of Deuteronomy with Prophet Moses telling us specifically, do not mix up with them folks that you're going into the land to destroy. Don't mix up with them. And if you mix up with them, what's going to happen? And the reason that I'm focusing on this because, if you look at TV and the social media and stuff, you will see that them folks trying to mix us out. And they encouraging us to mix with them. And come to find out that if you mix with our enemies, you will not worship Almighty Yah. And that they will take you away from worshiping the Creator, Almighty Yah, which is our only salvation. You know what I'm saying? And that was stated by Prophet Moses when he gave us the law, is that our prosperity and our whole welfare of being was tied up in the covenant and the laws that the Creator gave us, and how we wouldn't be able to prosper without them, especially going up against our enemies. Our enemies got I calculated 4,000 years of civilization. Well, before we got the covenant, they had about 2,500 years of civilization, man, on us. Our enemies. Our enemies is going to be the people that was in Canaan that we didn't destroy. Yes, and they here under different names today. And the reason that they are here under different names today is because our heritage and the rule that we had to control world history fell into the hands of our enemies, the Babylonian scribes. The Babylonian scribes. Those are Amorites, and these are ancient pictures of Amorite. Look at that, man. That just look just like an old prune-faced European, don't it? Look just like one. Look at them. Them Semitic peoples. And them the peoples that didn't have no pigmentation. Okay, Hebrews, what I want to show is that how the goal of not worshiping the Creator, the functioning of not worshiping the Creator, how it come from Cain, Cain, and how Cain wasn't given no instructions after he killed his brother Abel, and how Cain was driven from the presence of the Creator. And I say that Cain went underground, and that Cain went underground in what's called Turkey, around them parts, and around the Caucasus Mountain. And that Cain went into the Caucasus Mountain, into them caves, and also that he was the one to build them underground cities, because if you look in the scriptures, you'll see that Cain had tools to dig in the earth. You know what I'm saying? He had tilling tools and all kind of tools, because remember, his brother Abel, who he killed, was a sheep herder and kept livestock, whereas Cain was a farmer dug in the ground and had tools. So then if he had tools to dig with, then he gonna be kind of familiar with the iron and all that old stuff. So, yeah, they gonna be digging them caves in Turkey. And I got history in the other video showing that the Hittites are Cain and the Nephilim descendants. The Hittites, they try to connect the Hittites with Heth, but one of Cain's, the Canaanites descendants, but we don't trace them there in the Tanakh, in the Tanakh, history. But if you look, what I'm saying, you will see that. And she again bore him brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain was a tiller of the ground. So Cain gonna have some tools. Cain gonna have some tools, and Cain gonna know how to get in the ground and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Cain gonna know how to dig in the ground. So I'm telling you, Hebrews, that the disbelief in the Creator or the people being anti-creator or anti-creation gonna come off Cain descendants, because Cain was chased, out the garden, and I say that he went up to the Caucasus Mountain and around them parts, and meaning then how he dug, tunnels and hid underground, because if you read the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, you'll see that it says, and Cain said unto the Elohim, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from the presence. You see it say from the face of the earth. He was driven out this day from the face of the earth. So then that means he gonna go into the earth, and from that face shall I be hid. The only way he can be hid from the Creator is going down into the ground and into the earth, hiding. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond upon the earth, and it shall come to pass, whoever find him, because that mark was on him, how, they might slay him, because he ain't gonna be looking like the rest of the people on the earth that got pigmentation. And then I got videos showing how them folks live underground, all in Turkey. From the Caucasus Mountain gonna be right here where the Scythians at, where Ashkenazi state, and then from the Caucasus Mountain that is connected all the way to these underground tunnels that go all the way to Europe, from Turkey all the way to Europe. They had underground cities and towns, and then I'm gonna say that's where the disbelief in the Creator gonna come from. Them people living underground, because they ain't gonna be living above ground with Seth descendants, the one who Adam had after Cain killed Abel. You see what I'm saying? And then I show that the Nephilims, the fallen angelic beings, gonna go into Cain descendants. You see what I'm saying? And that's gonna produce the Nephilims and the Raphilims, the giants, and then from there you get the them mixing in Babylon with the Amorites, with Canaan other seed, the Amorites, and the Amorites heritage went from the Nile all the way to the Euphrates, from the Nile all the way to the Euphrates. So Cain kids gonna be mixed up with them Hamites, with Canaan kids, the Canaanite kids. All the Canaanite kids gonna have Tezzeret. Tezzeret is a form of leprosy where they didn't have no pigmentation. The Creator, through the prophet Noah, had put, Tezzeret on Ham's descendants, because, Ham come up out of the, come in the tent, when his daddy, when the ark landed, and then his daddy planted them grapes, and then the Creator caused the food to grow fast, like that miracle grow. You know what I'm saying? How food grow real fast and big and stuff. And then Prophet Noah done put some of that grape juice in something, and then it fermented it real fast, and then he done passed out drinking it, probably got drunk real fast, and then his son Ham gonna come in and see him naked and look at him, instead of trying to cover his daddy up and you know what I'm saying, to set strange straight, he gonna leave out the tent and gonna go start talking bad about his daddy. Look at that old drunk up there now. You know what I'm saying? And then the other brothers, Shem and Japhet, went and took a cloth and then put it on their daddy and didn't even look at their daddy laying like that, so they wouldn't even have no image in their mind and stuff. But you let them beasts tell it. You know, the beasts who been telling our history and stuff, they'll try to say that Ham went in there and raped Noah. You know what I'm saying? While Noah was drunk on some juice. You know, that ain't nothing but the enemy's mentality. And that was one of the reasons why the Creator told us not to mix up with our enemies. Because if you did mix up with them, then the truth that the Creator was trying to present to the earth would be obscure. You wouldn't be able to see it, because the enemy's influence is real strong. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if the enemies got control of world history, then, you know what I'm saying, they gonna tell a lie. And then that's what they did on the prophet Noah. You know what I'm saying? They try to include that old wicked gay stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna talk about that evil, wicked, gay stuff too. How them evil, wicked people done took the rainbow, the sign of a covenant between the Creator, saying that he wasn't going to destroy the earth and flood it out no more, and how those wicked peoples that Cain descendants mixed with them Canaanites, them Amorites, and them type folks don't believe in the Creator, and how they done took it, you know what I'm saying, and changed everything around. You know, like I said, you know, Prophet Noah was had drunk that alcohol, and you know, them grapes gonna ferment and stuff, and then his sons gonna come in there, you know what I'm saying, and look at him while he wasn't, you know, right and stuff. Instead of helping his daddy, he gonna be against his daddy and tell the others. And Noah began to be an husband and planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken and was uncovered within his tent. See, he had drunk that liquor and laid on down. And then his old wicked son Ham gonna come in and look at him, you know what I'm saying, and didn't cover his daddy up, didn't cover his daddy nakedness up, and then gonna leave out and start talking crap about him. You see what I'm saying? And then the other brothers came in and straightened it up. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his brethren without. You know, he seen his daddy laid out and probably didn't even tell him nothing why his daddy all laid out. Probably saying, look at him, he all drunk and laid out. And then having scorn about his daddy. So, you know, his daddy gonna wake up real mad when he found out that his son didn't cover him up while he was laid out like that and vulnerable and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's one of the laws that the Creator made without covenant contract, is that you got to honor your mother and your father. That's up there with some of the first laws, that you got to honor your mother and father. You see what I'm saying? Well, Ham didn't honor his father. You see what I'm saying? And Shem and Japhet took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. Because it's a known fact that if Ham had violated his father in any kind of way sexually, the other brothers would have killed him. Shem and Japhet would have killed Ham. You see what I'm saying? Prophet Noah would have killed Ham. Ham would have got killed right off the spot soon as Prophet Noah knew something was wrong of that nature. He would have had Ham killed. So, you know, we know that Ham didn't go do no old wicked stuff like these old abominable beasts try to say and portray, because that's what a wicked and evil man is. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, like I say, this disbelief in the Creator, also, you know, gonna go to the them Cain descendants. You know, I was telling you about that, how he fled into the earth and so forth, and how his descendants will be the Nephilims and the Raphilims, and them will be the peoples that will mix up with them Canaanite tribes. with them Canaanite tribes. You see, because Cain, you know, Ham, Ham's son Cain gonna be, you know, messed up, born with some Tezzeret, so he gonna be mad that he probably born with some white skin, and then he gonna have disbelief in the Creator. You see what I'm saying? So it's all messed up. It's all messed up, but we Hebrews gonna get it together. So we know that Cain had digging tools and so forth, and that he gonna flee into the mountains and flee underground, and he ain't gonna get the same instructions that Seth is given. Seth is gonna be Adam's other son, you see, that replaced Abel, and then that's who the Creator gave his covenant and his blessings to, because he was the first to start to call on the Creator. You see what I'm saying? And that there's no sign that Cain called on the Creator, but that Cain lied to the Creator. See, that's like Cain gonna be the first one to lie and kill. You know what I'm saying? And we know that's the nature of the non-pigmented peoples. You know, we know that that's their nature, and this is their ancient drawings, and these are the people. Those are Canaanites right there. Those are Canaanites right there, and you can see that they don't have no look like us. And those are real carvings that they got from ancient times. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptians even had the carvings of the Amorites, Amru. You know what I'm saying? And that's them, non-pigmented folks. And them, that's where the disbelief in the Creator gonna come from. But how about the Creator even tried to save them one time and give them a chance when old Hittite and the Amorite, you know, had that baby in Jerusalem, and then they throw them out. You know what I'm saying? And then the Creator saved them and gave them a civilization, but they still turned out wicked. You know what I'm saying? And how Melchizedek would be the represent of them, you know, believing at one time, but how they lost that belief real fast. And then, you know, because they mixed with them Nephilims and them Raphilims, those gonna be the giants. You know, I got the videos showing how the giants went into the Amorites, and the Amorites are the people that, you know, got our heritage, that are descended from the fallen beings and so forth. You know, okay, Hebrews, let's look at some of what Prophet Moses said, because man, it's real important. It's real important that we get an understanding of why the Creator said, don't fool with them folks. Don't fool with our enemies. Do not fool with our enemies under any circumstances, because if you do, you're going to get your mouth tore out, because they do not believe the Creator. And like I said, that disbelief in the Creator going to go all the way back to Cain, getting kicked out the garden and going underground in them caves in the Caucasus Mountain and having it rough. So he ain't going to believe in the Creator. Alright? If you look at Deuteronomy 4:15, take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on that day that that Elohim spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make ye a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that is in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. Lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou sawest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven should be driven to worship them. You know, you shouldn't be driven and serve them, which the Elohim that Yah had divided unto all the nations under the whole heavens. You know, so Prophet Moses was telling us that we shouldn't worship a whole anything in honor on this earth and try to call it the Creator, or say that this represent Almighty Yah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's what them heathens did with that demigod, God's son. You know, that Jesus stuff, the Yawashi stuff, and how they done turned that into him saying that he the Creator son. So therefore, if you see him, you see the Creator. But the Creator said, make no form of him on heaven or on earth. You see what I'm saying? So we know, that we got the worship of that Jesus fella in the slavery days. And like I said, how our enemies not ever one time ever said y'all worship the creator Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob prayed to. Not one time have our enemies ever said do that. They ain't never said do that. Alright, look, check this out, Hebrews. Alright, let me see. Alright, this is what I want to show. Alright, let me get pictures of them Amorites right there. Look at them. Those are the Semitic folks. Those are the Semitic folks right there. And them the folks that didn't believe in the creator. And that's like, when we abandon our heritage to those Babylonian scribes, they worshiped their gods and tried to do what we was doing in Samaria and the northern kingdom. They don't believe in the creator because you can't do both. You know what I'm saying? That's them. That's them Semitic folks, the mixed folks. You know what I'm saying? And then that's part of their goal is to mix us, because once you become mixed and then you start to lose your pigmentation, then you start to lose the desire and the willingness to worship the creator and follow the creator. And then if you ain't got no pigmentation and ain't none tricked you out your pigmentation, and that your descendants 9 out of 10 won't worship Almighty Yah, and how you would only worship what the enemies worship. They know this too. Man, they cold. Alright, Hebrews, let's look at some of this what Prophet Moses said. Prophet Moses was telling us not to mix up with them. Not to mix up with them folks when y'all go into the land of Canaan. Because if you do, they going to corrupt you and you're going to get your mouth tore out. If you go to, let's see this here. Alright, this is Deuteronomy 5 verse 6. I am the Elohim Yah, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And we know that believing in the lies that our enemies tell that you're going to end up worshiping a false god. That's just automatically. You're going to worship a false god if you believe in our enemies' lies. Because that's what they going to do, lead you to false worship. They don't want you calling on a creator. I am the Elohim Yah, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image of any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. That's going to go for that Jesus, that God's son. Now, why would the creator change his mind on this when he said that y'all can't make no image of me, not even in the human form can you make an image of me? That's in the earth. And the folks done turned around and did it, and then they gave that to us in the slavery days, and then we uphold that message true. You got Hebrew organizations, got thousands of members believing in that Jesus stuff, that God son stuff, and they don't know Israelite history. They just some Hebrew Christians. They Hebrew Israelites, but they still believe in Christianity, and they don't know that the Creator said, don't make no form of him to be worshipped in no kind of way. So, if you got a God's son, and then you say this is the Creator's son, then he gonna look like the Creator and have his essence that if you see, if you see my son, you see me. You see what I'm saying? So, that's how that is. Alright. Thou shalt not make thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, and that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Elohim, am a jealous Yah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto them that love me and keep my commandments. You know what I'm saying? Thou shalt not take the name of the Elohim Yah in vain, for the Elohim will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. You know what I'm saying? All right, now let's go. Let me see this here. All right. The Creator gave us some laws to for for us not to rob and to hurt each other, whereas our enemies don't have that. Our enemies say that if you kill each other, that Jesus will forgive you, and that the God's Son will forgive you. Whereas the Creator told us outright, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Honor thy mother and thy father. Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Elohim thy Yah had commanded thee. See, that's what Ham didn't do when he seen his daddy naked from drinking that wine, and then got drunk and passed out and exposed a little bit, because they had robes then. They ain't had no pants. They had robes. So he might have been laid out a little bit, and then his son didn't honor him. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to bring wrath down, the Creator's wrath down through Noah, Prophet Noah, on his son Ham. All right. Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Elohim thy Yah had commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Elohim thy Yah giveth thee. You see, now that's strong right there, saying that if you don't honor your mother and father, that your days ain't gonna be long. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, the Creator put Tazareth from Prophet Noah on Cain as his punishment. And I guess he must have knew Cain was going to be wicked. All right, thou shalt not kill, neither shalt thou commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou convert thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor. See, the Creator gave us some laws to self-preserve ourselves, and how we in the land of our captivity, and our enemies took that away, and how we just slaughtering each other wholesale is because they don't believe in the Creator Yah. See, whenever you believe in your enemy's worship, it's self-destruction for the Israelite. If the Israelite believe in the enemy's way of worship, then it's self-destruction. You know what I'm saying? And that's automatically, and our enemies know this. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies know this. All right. Now let's see this here. All right. All right. And it shall be, when the Elohim that Yah have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thee, father, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of good things which thou fillest not, and wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware lest thou forget the Elohim which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Elohim thy Yah, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods, or the gods of the people which ye are round about you. See, that's like now. We can't go after the gods of the people that is round about us. You see what I'm saying? And you got Hebrews participating in everybody's religion, and don't none of them want to worship Almighty Yah, and how they quick to go worship Buddha. They quick to go worship Buddha, Jesus, or the Islamic gods and so forth. You see what I'm saying? And how none of them got the heart and the man to go worship Almighty Yah. Let me see. Ye shall not go after other gods, or the gods of the people which are round about you, for the Elohim thy Yah is a jealous Yah among you, lest the anger of the Elohim thy Yah be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. You see what I'm saying? So we blessed to have just got driven out the land during the Babylonian wars, whereas the Creator could have let our enemies just totally wipe us out. You know what I'm saying? All right. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Elohim thy Yah, and his testimonies and his statutes which he command you, and thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Elohim, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go out and possess the good land which the Elohim thy Yah swear unto thy fathers, to cast out all the enemies from before thee, as the Elohim has spoken. And when thy son ask thee in time to come, saying, what mean these testimonies and these statutes and these judgments which the Elohim our Yah had commanded you? Then wilt thou say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Elohim brought us out of Egypt with a great and mighty hand. That it's gonna be the same way when we leave out this time. You know what I'm saying? And how we gonna be, have to remember the bondage that we been in now, and how we gonna tell our kids how the Creator brung us up out of the house of bondage. You see what I'm saying? And how, we're going to tell our kids the same thing. All right? Now, listen here. This is what we should all know. And that the Creator didn't choose us because we the best people on the face of this earth and we just more righteous than everybody. The Creator made a promise to our forefathers that he would do what he did for us. And he'll tell you this right here. For thou art an holy people unto the Elohim thy Yah. The Elohim thy Yah had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Elohim did not set his love upon you nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, but because the Elohim loved you, because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. Had the Elohim brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Elohim that Yah, he is Yah, the faithful Yah, which keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and his commandments to 1,000 generations. You hear that? To 1,000 generations. So, that's like forever. So, but like I said, our enemies don't want us to worship Almighty Yah. And that's their whole game plan, is to keep us from worshiping Almighty Yah. And if we don't worship Almighty Yah, then our enemies can control us. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies can control us. And then if our enemies control us, then they gonna destroy us because they are anti-creation. And then they know that the Creator got this love for us. They gonna destroy us and try to wipe us out. And you get wiped out by not knowing that you a Hebrew Israelite and worshiping the Creator that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and Moses prayed to. You see what I'm saying? You see, that's how we destroy the enemy, is that we come back to who we supposed to be as Israelites. And also, Hebrews, this what I want to show too, is that we dealing with some real serious peoples. We dealing with some real serious peoples who's man, our enemies got 2,741 years of control over the Israelite heritage. But before then, they had another 2,500 years of having civilization with writing and understanding. That's like now us in this captivity and the things that we going through, and how the average Hebrew can't pinpoint where our problems coming from and who causing it, anything, and how they just completely lost. Well, how about Hebrews, the people we abandoned our heritage to, the Sephardi Jews? How about them people been in control of civilization for like thousands of years before we Hebrews even got a covenant from the Creator? And how the Amorite civilization go back thousands of years. These people right here are the founders of the Mesopotamian history. You know what I'm saying? The Sephardis, the Amorites. Amorite is where the it's where the Sephardims from. This city called Sippar on the Euphrates. And I'm gonna see if I can Sippar on the Euphrates. And these people who we abandoned our heritage to our enemies, who we didn't destroy, they got us in the bondage now. How about our enemies are from Sippar? The Sephardims are from Sippar, and the Sephardims are responsible for the whole Babylonians God's history, and how that they are going to be the descendants of the fallen angelic beings of Cain, and the Canaanites mixed together with the Nephilims would be reflected in the Amorites, who are the founders of the Mesopotamian history. They are the keepers of the Mesopotamian history, and how that those folks was placed in our land in 722 BC by the king of Assyria, and how we Hebrews ran into Africa and abandoned our history to them. We was tricked by the Egyptians. See, like I said, anytime that we worship anybody else's God, it's gonna take us down through there. And then that's what happened to us after these people was placed in our land around 588 BC. You know, they had been in our land since 722 BC, and they was starting to get in control of our heritage then. And then from 722 BC to now, man, them folks got like 2,741 years of controlling our heritage, with 2,500 years of previous government control of Mesopotamia and the land of Canaan. So them folks got like about 4,000 since we've been in slavery, with our heritage blotted out and not knowing the truth. Our enemies got like 4,500 years of technology and history and trickery and everything. You know, they're responsible for the whole Western civilization. You know, they're responsible for the whole Western civilization, and them gonna be the people that we abandon our heritage to, and they gonna be Amorites, and Amorites are Canaanites. So when we abandoned our heritage and went into Africa, being tricked out the promised land and being driven out at the same time, and that these people got our heritage, and those the people that's responsible for the history today about the Israelites, and how it's all wrong, and how these are the same peoples that had temple prostitution worship in the promised land while we was there and after. You know what I'm saying? And how these people are responsible for Sodom and Gomorrah, since they are Amorites, and how that's where that gay stuff come from, and how those folks done took the rainbow, the covenant that the Creator gave us to show that he wouldn't flood and kill the earth off no more, and how those evil, wicked people done turned the rainbow into an anti-creation symbol, because gay people are anti-creation. You know, the gay community, the lesbian community, and the gay community are anti-creation. You know, they can't create no babies and populate the earth like the Creator had told Noah's sons when they had come out the ark to go replenish the earth. Well, here you got some folks that ain't trying to replenish the earth and trying to take away from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, that gay stuff is anti-creation, and that gay stuff gonna come from our enemies. You know, that gay stuff gonna come from our enemies, and these gonna be the same peoples that turned the tribe of Benjamin out. I got a video, you know what I'm saying, about the tribe of Benjamin, and how that they was tricked out of everything and turned gay by them folks the same way that we in captivity now, and how them people know that we don't have knowledge of self and where we come from, because what we went through in the slavery days, and how those people are influencing the Hebrews that's not connected to the Creator, and how they turning them gay and trying to wipe us out. Yes, trying to wipe us out. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna come from our enemies. These folks right here. Them folks right there. That's where it come from, our enemies. And them enemies are anti-creation. And them enemies, if you worship their God, you're going to be anti-creator. And how our enemies not one time said to worship Almighty Yah, because they know that you can't do none of that stuff that they want us to do if you worshiping Almighty Yah. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies are real wicked and evil. All right, Hebrews, I just want to shed a little light on this little subject, you know what I'm saying, and how, our enemies not one time ever told us to worship Almighty Yah. And it was a reason why the Creator said don't mix up with them and don't take them into marriage. Neither shall when the Elohim thou Yah shall bring thee into the land of Canaan where thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, them gonna be Cain and the Nephilims right there. The Hittites, the Gershites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Havites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And with the Elohim thy Yah shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. See, that's one of the reasons why they trying to make us all into one, and how, they trying to trick all the Hebrews and say, oh, let's be friendly and everybody be one with each other. It's because they know that if you be one with them, you're not going to worship the Creator. You see what I'm saying? And then you're not going to worship Almighty Yah if you following up behind our enemies. And they know this. And when the Elohim thou Yah shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriage with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto thy sons, and nor their daughters shalt thou take unto thy sons. For they will turn away thy son from follow me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Elohim be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. You see what I'm saying? But thou shalt ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. See, that's what we should have did to them folks. If we would have did that to them folks, then that gay stuff wouldn't be here, and none of the wicked stuff would be here that is present. You know what I'm saying? That's like when them folks get the Hebrews to mix and you go running behind our enemies, and you ain't finna worship the Creator Almighty Yah running behind our enemies, because it's set up like that, because you trying to satisfy our enemies and you don't want to offend them, so you gonna worship their gods and all that stuff, and they usually get you to follow up behind them with their trinkets and they lust for greed and money. You see what I'm saying? And then if you're not connected to the Creator, then you're not gonna know to resist the lust and the greed that's gonna destroy you. And that's what our enemies control that. See, it was a reason that the Creator said don't follow them folks, don't mess with them, and don't run up behind them, don't do none of their ways, and matter of fact, to destroy them. You see what I'm saying? To destroy them completely. And we didn't do it. And we got in there in the promised land when we left from Egypt. And we got in the promised land and we started partying and kicking it with our enemies. That's like now. That's all they got is party music and kicking it. And then that destroyed us. You see what I'm saying? That destroyed us. And it's the same back then as it is now. And how if you follow our enemies, if you follow up behind them devils, you're going to get destroyed. If you mate with them devils, you ain't going to worship Almighty Yah. And not one time have our enemies ever said to worship the Creator Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob prayed to. Not one time in this captivity have they even pointed you in that direction. So, you should recognize that off the flop. That, hey, why our enemies ain't never told us to worship Almighty Yah, the Creator of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see what I'm saying? They know why. Because that's why our salvation is. Shalom, Hebrews. We can't follow up behind our enemies. Even right now today, we in captivity. We got to learn to separate ourselves from these devils. Because if you keep following up behind these devils, you're going to get destroyed. If you try to party with these devils, you're going to go down. This is the last days of this country, and our enemies is really trying to destroy us by being neutral. That neutrality stuff destroys the Hebrew. We have to take a side. You see what I'm saying? And the side is not to mess with our enemies and mix up with them and worship nothing that they worship. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. I pray that this video brings some understanding and some truth to you. Shalom, Hebrews. We're going to get it right.